Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast. Ham, I should have done this before, but go ahead and talk real quick just to double check on my end.
Yo,
Because I know, there you go. Perfect. I know I'm good. I need
are
to make
you
sure
good?
you were good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last
So
time it was you.
exactly. So I checked, I made sure to check myself beforehand, but I didn't check you, and I should have done that. But here we are, another episode of the Two Player Podcast with myself, my buddy Hamsolo here. We got some topics to talk to today. Good to be real with you guys. Today's show is probably not going to be super long. Expect 30 to 40-ish minutes. But we did have a few things that we wanted to talk about. So before we get into that, we got to talk about what we've been playing. I talked about what I've been playing last night on L3R3 podcast. But Ham, what have you been playing, and how you been doing?
I've been I've been scrolling Twitter a lot. I think I've been playing a lot of Twitter today. Um,
Oh shit!
just what's up?
No, go for it.
Oh no, I've just been playing a lot of Twitter today. Just it's a pretty wild day, but we're not going to talk too much about that at all about
Yeah,
that. Um,
yeah,
so, but like other than that, I've been playing Dragon Age Spellguard.
nice.
And that's pretty much it. Like I played that on Steam Deck and I've been playing it on my Xbox as well, kind of going back and forth. I've been kind of on a hardcore binge, like kind of uncomfortably hardcore of the Breaking Bad IP.
Oh, nice. So I'm
I
assuming you
just
finished Better Call
finished,
Saul.
yeah, I finished Better Call
Yeah,
Saul, and that was amazing. But the way that ends is kind of like an introduction into
yeah.
Breaking the way that show goes, right? And it's supposed to do that. Now I have seen Breaking Bad. I've watched that show and like pretty much yeah, actually all the seasons. I remember the very last episode. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like
Yeah.
they're like at a motel, right?
Yes.
Or they wind up at a motel and all I'm gonna say is trunks be popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Trunk pops up and guns start shooting.
yeah, it is a wild situation. So I've seen all of it before, but for some reason I just can't shake that. Like now that I watch Better Call Saul and completely understand that I want to now go through Breaking Bad and watch it with knowing what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's pretty nuts. Because the last season of Better Call Saul, which I'm not gonna ruin that. He says something in that and then I realized that hey, that was in Breaking Bad, and I didn't notice that in Breaking Bad was referencing Better Call Saul, which was a show that didn't even come out yet, or maybe it
Yeah.
came out that season, or maybe they were planning on coming out with it like that season, or maybe that was an introduction to it. Because I remember Better Call Saul did come out during Breaking Bad being out.
Oh, did it? I thought it came out after. Nice.
Like it kind of did, but it was kind of like it came out while it was still alive is what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like simultaneous they dropped when
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
in the show. It was kind of like he got popular while they were at it. And me watching it so many years later was just really interesting. But anyway, this is about gaming. Dragon Age Belguard, been playing the crap out of it. Um Not as much as I played Metaphor, but I think I played Metaphor like a maniac, and that was kind of unhealthy. I'm taking a better approach at Dragon Age for sure. I thought I'd be a little bit more stuck to it. My score kind of went down for it a little bit.
Okay.
Story just isn't really driving it home for me like I wanted it to. It
Gotcha.
just seems a little bit cheesy. You know, I like when I first seen this person's review, I didn't like really believe them or understand, and I thought maybe they were just kind of I thought maybe that they were maybe being a little bit of an asshole about it, but then now I kind of see exactly what they were saying, and I'm like, dude, you weren't being an asshole at all. You see, you nailed it. But I think just because this game came out with the criticism that it did, it just sounded meaner than it actually was. And Skill Up is the person I'm talking about. He said
Mhm.
that the game feels like the writing feels like HR is in the room with you. And I was like, like after playing it as long as I have now, it does feel like that. Because like you choose even an angry answer and it's like it's barely even that like raw, you know?
Oh
You
yeah,
pick
okay.
an answer for love and it's not that like it's very like beat around the bushy.
Gotcha.
Instead, I want my character to be like, if I'm choosing to go this route, I don't want him to beat around the bush. I want him to beat that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay, I
mean?
get
So
that.
if I'm telling somebody, hey, I like them, I want to let it be known because there's
Yeah.
already other answers that are kind of nice to say to them.
Yeah.
So I want this one to be like, no, I'm not trying to like say I want to, I want to say something absolutely absurd, but it would be cool to have that every once in a while something absurd to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like this one, it's so far away from not absurd that it's almost just kind of like a little bit uninteresting in the choice.
There's a character that I'm 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 not gonna. Yeah, I'm almost certain you're not going to romance that. It doesn't even like it doesn't give you the option to do what you're saying. Like you can do the whole thing like, oh, I like you, or I don't like you, or it's exclusive or not, whatever the hell. But like, as soon as you say you like that person, they're just like they're just like, so you want to have sex? I'm just like, oh
I
shit.
know what you're talking about.
I'm just like, oh shit. All right. Uh, but yeah, I get what you're saying with that. For me, I feel like the story kind of like I feel like at the start it was kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say mid. It was just like I didn't care about it because it wasn't that I wasn't super invested in the story. It was the gameplay that was keeping me playing. And then as I kept playing, I feel like the story kind of picked up to the point where like now I'm pretty damn invested. Also, I got all my companions, and so I'm invested in all of, and well, the ones I care about. I'm invested in all their stories and everything. And then the gameplay just keeps getting better the more I keep putting skills into my skill tree. So I'm really enjoying it. I said yesterday, talking to Mike and Twan, I think if I had to say like the tone of this game, if I had to place it, I said I would place it somewhere in between Hogwarts Legacy and just in terms of tone, Hogwarts Legacy and God of War Ragnarok or God of War, just any of the new God of Wars. It's not quite as dark as God of War, although it has its darker moments, and it's not quite as uh, silly as Hogwarts, although it has plenty of silly moments. It's somewhere in between those two things,
That's a
and I think
really good that's a really good way to put it.
yeah, and I think if you can deal with that, like if you're someone who can deal with that, then the gameplay is for me good enough to where you can be like I can have a ton of fun with this game. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm having a ton of fun with it. The story's starting to ramp up now. I've got all my companions. Everything is I'm really invested in everything now and it's starting to all come together. So I'm enjoying it. But uh so you're still enjoying it just kind of like this you're a little bit frustrated with the choices not seeming to be what you want them to be. I guess would be the way to put it. Um, in
Yeah,
conversation.
and maybe it'll evolve through the game because you're kind of saying like your character evolves a little
Mm-hmm.
bit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what I'm looking. That's kind of what I'm looking for, but like I just feel so kind of I guess, a little directionless in how I really want to treat this character. And it's
Gotcha.
not that often in RPG games where I feel kind of like I don't know where to go. I don't know either if I want to be nice, mean, or
Yeah,
whatever. And the story isn't like making me feel like I need to be anything other than just there.
gotcha. Yeah, I get that. I totally
But it's
get
really
that.
fun. Like I'm still having a good time. I'm waiting for it to develop more. Um, I did switch up my character traits,
Mhm.
and I have some pretty cool specials now and pretty cool things that I
Nice.
didn't have prior. Because prior it was kind of spread out all over the place, and now it's a little bit more directed in like attack wise how I want to play the game. So now that I got that figured out, I just need to figure out, all right, who is my and what do I want my character to be? Because
Yeah,
I got the I got the way I want to fight kind of figured out now.
yeah. I feel like with my character, I've kind of taken the approach I took on Starfield, or most RPGs for that matter, where like I'm nice most of the time, but like sometimes you run into asshole characters, and I'm an asshole. Or at least I try to be in those situations, and I know exactly what you mean when like the option to be an asshole isn't quite being an asshole, or doesn't feel like it, and it feels kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. People seem to be enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Ham said he's enjoying it. But yeah, I just wanted to get your. I'm glad you kind of brought up Dragon Age because I did want to get your impressions on it. So I think that was a pretty good way to start the show. Trying to think if there's anything else about Dragon Age. I don't think there is. Oh, I think they did say they're not doing DLC for this because there was like a question of are they going to do DLC, and they kind of came out and confirmed like it's all hands on deck for Mass Effect 5, which I'm not mad about. It would be
I'm
cool to
happy to
see.
hear that.
Yeah, it would be cool to
I
see
actually
DLC for
want
this, but
less games.
yeah.
I actually want less DLC for games. Like
Okay.
I never really liked DLC.
Hmm. That's an
Like I've
interesting
never been a
take.
fan of it. Um,
Gotcha.
it just to me it just blurs the line between what could be possibly a new game and I don't know. I've I very rarely have played a DLC and been like, man, that was worth it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Okay.
usually I play a DLC and I'm like, usually I play a DLC and I'm just like, this feels like a different like piece of the game. Like I felt like when I beat the game, I tied up all the loose ends, and then
Hmm.
now I'm reopening the book and making up a new ending. That's kind of what a DLC feels like to me, and I don't really love it. Now there's very rare cases, right? There's those Michael Jordan outliers in there and LeBron James that like, there's I'm not saying nobody can make a DLC. I'm just telling you that I don't like
Yeah, you
them
wouldn't
because I
prefer it.
just feel like well to me it's just like I like what Sony did with God of War. Instead of
Uncharted,
making it
God
a
of War,
long
Spider
ass
Man.
DLC that people aren't gonna play, just make another game and just have a lot of the same stuff, but add some more new stuff, make it make
Yeah.
sense and all that stuff. And for me, I'm more willing to buy a new game that's actually because I feel like if they're coming out with a whole ass game, they actually completely care about it, and there's no rush to it at all. In comparison to a DLC where they're like, this is just a little small idea that we kind of had and we're throwing it in. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah,
I've never been a big fan of DLCs.
I get what you
I
mean on
always
that.
like knowing that when I buy a game, I get the whole thing, and that's all. And then if I want more, then I hope a sequel comes out, and that's it.
I get that. I mean, even like I'm kind of in agreement. There's not many DLCs I've played where I'm like, yeah, that was incredible. It's funny because I just recently played one with Cyberpunk, but outside of like Cyberpunk, even a game like Skyrim, my favorite game of all time, the DLCs in Skyrim, even the pretty good ones, aren't that great. And then there's also one that's just absolutely fucking terrible, just horrendous in every way possible. Um, so yeah, I totally get what you mean with that. It's just I do kind of see what you're saying with the whole PlayStation model, like Uncharted, God of War you mentioned, and then like Spider Man with Miles Morales. It's like maybe that's a better way to go for most people. I also feel like that gets more people excited, honestly, than a DLC. Even if the DLC turns out to be this amazing thing, like I guess the only argument against that recently is probably Elden Ring with Shadow of the Erd Tree. But then that's like a DLC. That's like a whole nother game inside of the game. So it's like, you know, is it really the same thing at that point? Who knows? Blind, what's up? Vort, what's up? Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Let's see.
Yeah, but even that, I'm not interested in getting. Like I'm
Same.
like I shouldn't say I'm not interested in getting. I'm just not in a rush to get it.
Okay, yeah.
But if they came out and said, "Hey, we have Elden Ring 2 and it's just as big as the last one. It's
Yeah.
just a different game." And I can transfer over my character.
Oh yeah, if they did that, then fuck
And,
it. My
and
character's like a level
but you
250.
still have to punch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
I
don't know.
mean,
To me, that's just more appealing to me than here's DLC to this game. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I turn on a game and I'm there to play DLC, but then I land in where I've been playing, it kind of takes me out of it. Because I'm just
yeah.
like, all right, I'm still kind of in the same area, and I have to work my way to the DLC. And not really saying that it's much work, but it reminds me that I've kind of been here already.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Dude, if they make an Elden Ring 2 and I could transfer my character, that'd be sick. I'd be fighting some tough ass enemies off rip if they're gonna scale it though, because dude, my guy on Elden Ring's like a level, it's like a dumb level, a really dumb level. Um, but yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think we'll always be getting DLCs. It's just feel like for me, it's just there's very
The
few.
only DLCs that makes the only DLCs that make sense are like the ones in like sports games and like shooters and like those kind of games and stuff like that, where it's like
Hmm.
new maps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Those are the DLCs that make sense because then it's like refreshing a game that doesn't really like Call of Duty. They could say, "Yo, we're never coming out with another actual Call of Duty again. We're just coming out with updates, and you can purchase a new campaign if you want to, or you can purchase, new maps, or you can get on Game Pass.
yeah,
You'll get it as it's ready, right?"
for sure.
Like to me, that I wouldn't care. And the same thing with like 2K. Like you buy one game at 2K or like a year subscription or something like that for $30, and you upgrade it every year for like 25 or $30.
Yeah, that I mean, dude, that's much more preferable than what the hell they do now. Because I mean, shit, you know me. I'm like, I get 2K every year. I mean, I hate doing it every year, but it's like I'm not gonna not play a basketball game. I'm not gonna not play the new basketball game every year, so I do it. Plus, it's like I feel like if they did a subscription for that game, way more people would be playing that game. Way more people. But it is what it is, you know. They're already making stupid amounts of money off of like their whatever battle royale thing they're doing. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They added guns to 2K or whatever shit. Oh god. But it is what it is. But moving on from Dragon Age and all that fun stuff, let's talk a little bit about the PS5 Pro because I know we were talking in Discord earlier about what people are saying about the PS5 Pro, and it's seeming to be quite uh average, I guess we could call it that. Which I mean, if I'm being realistic with you guys, I kind of expected that. Like, I fully expected that. I didn't expect it to be this like groundbreaking, revolutionary thing. But I only bring it up because it was funny the amount of people who seemed to did think it would be that. And I don't know. I mean, we were talking about the reviews earlier and how I think you said IGN gave it, which is funny to rate a console, but they gave it a 7.
Yeah,
Uh,
they rate all the consoles though.
yeah, and
Like
I
they
also
rated
saw,
the PS5, the regular PS5. I think they gave an 8 out of 10.
yeah, I saw that, and the Series X was a 7. Um, I wonder what the Series S is. I'm about to look that up while we're talking. Series S IGN review. Uh, but yeah, a 7. Again, IGN loves giving out a 7. They're not going to miss an opportunity to do that. But Ham, what you're seeing from these reviews, does it change your mind? Are you lining up to get a PS5 Pro?
No, there are some pretty interesting things about it though,
Okay.
and I mean, I'm not lining up for it, not because I'm just like fuck that, but like it's more or less like I have a PS5 already. I have a PC that's stronger than my PS5. For me, since I don't play my PS5 very often, it doesn't make sense for me to run out and upgrade something that I rarely play. It
Yeah.
just doesn't. So, like, if I played my PS5 the way I played my Series X, there's a possibility, but it's still for me like especially seeing that Xbox games go straight to PC, and I already have a PC that's stronger than even if the new Xbox came out, or um if there was an Xbox Pro that came out,
Yeah.
it would have to do something different or fun that my current one doesn't do right now. And I'm an Xbox player, so I'm telling you, like, hey, if Xbox did this exact same thing, they came out with their own Pro, I would kind of want it, but at the same time, it'd be hard for me to really dig into my pocket and pull out $700 without it doing something significantly different than the one I have. And I don't mean like a little bit of an extra resolution in FPS sometimes, because I can get that on my PC.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I needed to do something else, right? And then on top of it, if it didn't come with a disk drive and stuff, it'd be like, all right, well, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, that's confusing.
So I'm saying for me, I wouldn't get the PS5 Pro, and I'm not interested in getting it. But if you're thinking about getting it and you think, hey, I'm more of a console player. I like playing on the PlayStation, and I don't really like PC gaming that much. Whether you have a good PC or not, but you know that you like PlayStation or whatnot. I would then advise you, if you already have a PS5, to go to their website. They have a buyback program where they will buy back your PlayStation 5, and then you
Yeah.
could use that money to put towards getting your PlayStation 5 Pro. So I'm telling you it's not for me, but I'm saying if you are on the fence or know that you just flat out want it, like, and you're not going to play the PS5 really anymore, you only play on one console in one room and that's all you care about, um, I would say go down that route because then at least you'll save some money and be able to get the new Pro for like anywhere between 350 to 450, depending on the
Yeah.
condition of your PlayStation 5 Pro. Um, or you can be like what Austin Evans and his boy said and just be like, nah, man, I can get two PS5s for the price of a Pro with a disc drive. So like you could do that too and just get two digitals and then have them in multiple rooms. So I mean, I don't know. You do whatever makes sense for you. I'm just tossing out options and telling you what I am doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to disagree with you. Like even if Xbox did this, because you brought up that point of like if Xbox did this, and I'm somebody who plays primarily on Xbox and PC are like mostly where I play. Um, but I've got my PS5. Like if whenever like my only time I play my PS5 is when they release something that is exclusive to PS5 that I'm interested in. Like they released a bunch of stuff that was exclusive to PS5 this year. Not a whole lot of it I was interested in. Like Silent Hill 2 looks pretty interesting. Uh I got Stellar Blade. I still haven't really played it. Uh I don't really care about Final Fantasy, so that's like a no-go for me. Um but like these are like the only kind of games I would play on my PlayStation, and there's not enough of those that I'm super interested in to justify spending $700 because that's what I would be doing. Because I know Ham just brought up that whole thing of like the buyback program. I'm done getting rid of my consoles. I've been doing that forever. Every time a new console comes out, I get rid of my old ones, and like it's cool and everything. But like at the same time, I kind of want to keep the stuff I have and either collect it or maybe use it in another room or whatever I might do with it. But I kind of want to have it. So if I were to get the PS5 Pro, it would be straight up a $700 purchase. And I quite frankly don't feel like spending $700 on something that I'm probably not really going to use until Death Stranding 2 comes out. And we don't even know the date for Death Stranding 2. But yeah, the pro reviews are kind of like, you kind of take it or leave it. People either love it or hate it. I don't think it really matters much either way. If you want it, go ahead and get it for yourself. I mean, you might as well treat yourself if you really want it. Why not? And if you don't want it, then don't
Right.
get it. I mean, it's really that simple. I don't think
Yeah.
there's.
I mean, like I said, you can get the base model for almost half the price. Like, and if you go refurbish, you can literally get it at half the price.
Yeah,
So it's just like I don't know, like you within thinking about the Pro, you got to remember that it's still this generation. You're not getting anything past this generation, and you're definitely not getting past what looks like a 6800
oh
corner
yeah, yeah,
off of a 6800 XT, I think.
yeah. This
I
yeah,
don't even think it's
exactly.
the XT. I think it's just a 6800.
No, I think it might be the 6800 because they're calling the performance, or at least they were. I don't know if they still are, calling the performance of this like a 7700 XT, which, if I'm not mistaken, would be a 6800 with a
You're
little
just a
bit less
regular
speed.
6800.
Yeah, so it's not like yeah, that's the performance you're getting. You still got the same CPU. They added upscaling techniques
And
with
that's the
Pisser.
real issue at the end of the day
Exactly. Yeah.
is like the same CPU because it just can't do a whole lot more without just more CPU overhead.
Exactly. And that's kind of why I'm like, if Xbox did this, it's like, would I even do that? Because I've got the PC I got, and it's like
Exactly.
I'd be playing the games. They would just be a little bit prettier on my Xbox, and it's like, well, at that point, I could just make them prettier on my PC and run it at a higher frame rate. So would I even do it if Xbox did it? I don't think so. It's hard to say, but I don't think so. So it's just one of those things that's not really for me, but it's for somebody. They're gonna sell to people, and people are gonna enjoy it for what it is, and people are gonna hate it for what it is. It is what it is, like everything. But
You've said it, Matt. I've said it. Vinny's said it. Austin Evans has said it. Many of people have said this. Last generation, it made sense for an
yes,
upgrade, and then
it really
and
did.
the price point made sense as well because it just replaced the price of what the old ones were.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
whole new price, this whole new price that's more with with less of a percentage with less of a percentage of a boost than the previous consoles did for their generation for 200 plus more dollars than what the regular product costs at at um at MSRP.
Yeah,
Then yeah, it's just, to me it's just a tough sell. um if you're an enthusiast that is big time on it, I get it.
yeah, for
But
sure.
for me, I'm just thinking in the same situation. If I was put in that same situation for X, would I be like itching to do it? Yes.
Yeah,
Would I pull the trigger? I don't know.
it's hard to say.
Because it's just like, it's hard to say because literally 3 feet away is my that will that has all the same games the same day.
Yeah,
You know what
it,
I'm saying? And the only way I'd really get the only way I'd really get like really get benefit out of it is if the games weren't play anywhere. Right? So Dragon
yeah,
Age, for instance, I'd get some benefit out of it, sure, but like I can't say it's a $200 benefit. Like I don't know, man. That's
yeah,
a lot.
exactly. Dude,
For it to maybe hit the threshold, not even like certain on that. Ah, man, I don't know. And
exactly.
in some cases, just as good, possibly worse. I don't, nah, bro.
Exactly. Like I think last gen with that One X, if you bought the launch Xbox One, $500 with came with the Connect and everything. If you bought that for $500, then in 2017, I think it was when the One X came out. In 2017, or call it 2018, uh, you could buy an Xbox One X for $500, the exact same price, $500, and you would go from playing Red Dead 2 at I think it was like 800p, might have been even less than that, to native 4K. And that's a big difference. And it also doesn't cost
That's
200
another
extra
thing.
dollars.
That's another thing Austin brought up is he's like, dude, no one has really 8K and like whatchamacallit, John Linneman actually said on Digital Foundry that uh that some of these big box stores and like even Amazon and whatnot, more or less the manufacturers are making less 8K TVs than they were back in 2020. Now
Yeah,
it's more or less just Samsung doing it. And LG fell back, Sony fell back. Everybody else is just doing 4K right now.
exactly. It didn't take off the way people thought it would. And
No, it actually backtracked. And
yeah,
what I find incredibly odd is that the consoles that came out prior to the Pro said 8K on them.
And the Pro doesn't. I got a box for my PS5. It says 8K. It says God of War Ragnarok 8K on the box. It's like the Pro doesn't even say that.
No, did you see the Pro box doesn't even say 8K on it,
Exactly. The Pro box doesn't even
which
say
is
that.
nuts. But it does 8K compared to
Yeah.
the regular PS5 that says 8K on the box. That I haven't been able to see an option to really get to 8K. Not that I have 8K, but
Sure, yeah.
I haven't really heard. But like, it's not just me having an option. I haven't heard anybody talking.
Yeah, like, dude, I think there's only been one game that does 8K this gen. Or maybe I could be wrong. There's probably like a few
The
small, really
tourist.
small games. I was thinking of the Falconeer. I remember the Falconeer when that came out, early towards
I thought
launch.
that was 6K.
Could be. All I know, it was way
It
more than
might do
4K,
8K.
and people were like,
I
"Look at
know.
this
Yeah.
amazing game," and I was just like, "I don't know if that's a big selling point for 8K, really."
I know the tourist. I know for certain that the tourist has it,
Tourist. Which one
and
is a tourist?
yeah, it's another. It's an indie game. It's not my kind of game.
Oh, I could, yeah, I can kind of like a Lego looking kind of thing.
Yeah, very very blocky.
Yeah, I can see that. Uh, that's yeah, that makes sense then. That's fair enough. But yeah, a PS5 Pro. I'm not getting it, but if it's for you, go ahead and treat yourself. That's all I'll say to that. But moving on to the
Hundred
final
percent.
topic, is Nintendo. We actually have an announcement from Nintendo that the next Switch, or they don't really have a name for it yet, but the next Nintendo console will be backwards compatible with the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty big news because, I mean, we saw what happened with the Wii U. Obviously, there's the GameCube to the Wii to the Wii U, then we got the Wii U to the Switch. GameCube was that or was the Wii back compat with GameCube? I can't remember. Oh shit!
I'm sorry. What?
Was the Wii back compat with the GameCube? Do you remember?
Uh, it did some backwards. Yeah, it did backwards compatibility for sure. We did. Yeah.
Okay, so it was just the Wii
Like
U to the Switch that did
you
not.
had to. Yeah, the Wii U to the Switch did not. Yeah, I remember you were able to get controllers, or you were able to get like some sort of adapter for GameCube games and stuff like that. I remember that for the Wii.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
I'm
definitely a big.
I'm not sure if the actual disc, like I'm not sure if the actual disc was backwards compatible, or if they just like brought the games forward.
Yeah, exactly. So them going back to backwards compatibility is definitely a big thing. I know because I mean shit, like not even a year ago when there were the rumors about the Switch 2, I feel like everybody, myself included, was like, there's no way they're gonna have backwards. They're gonna charge you for Tears of the Kingdom again, just like they did with Breath of the Wild on the Wii U to the Switch. But apparently, good guy Nintendo in parentheses because that's not true. But they're looking out for us by making the next Switch backwards compatible, which means that because Metroid Prime 4 is coming out on the current Switch, I'll have no issue buying that on the current Switch, and then when I upgrade to the Switch 2 or whatever, I don't got to buy it again, which is fantastic. Uh, because I really did not like that the idea of that model. But yeah, what about you? Are you? Does this make you more excited? Any more excited for the Nintendo Switch 2, Super Switch, whatever they're going to call it?
Oh, 100%.
Nice.
100%, because like what you just said was save that money.
Yeah,
So I mean, I think everybody likes that, and who can be a gamer and not have access to like Mario or Zelda or stuff like that? You gotta have that access.
for
I
sure.
mean, whether you play it all the time or not, you gotta be able to have that stuff.
You got to
Like
be
I
able
don't
to play
play
it when you want.
Nintendo Switch and whatnot, but like I can't lie. I'd be a fool to say that they don't have a good product sometimes. I mean, we're not sometimes, like all the time. They always have a good.
Yeah, like
They always have a good story and a fun game. Like
exactly.
I didn't get the Wii, but it was everywhere, and that's kind of like the reason I didn't get it. Kind of
It,
everywhere else.
my God,
Um.
everybody had the fucking Wii. My friend's
Oh yeah.
grandparents got a Wii. That's the first place I played it was at my friend's grandma's house.
Like I've always been more of a kind of a regular gamer, so like I really like the GameCube was like my shit. Um,
Yeah,
I like that one. Wii U, I still want a Wii U. I've always wanted a Wii U. I just never really kind of had time to really think about getting one. I've always kind of I'm more of an Xbox. So like it's just kind of it is what it is. Um,
yeah,
but like I've always wanted one of those, and I just feel like it was sad the way it went out because I thought it was a cool concept. And I'm a fool for those kind of concepts. But when I seen the Switch, I was like I had to get that one, and so I got that right away. And to hear that they finally made backwards compatibility simple because or I feel like they're going to, right? I hope
yeah.
it's not
Hopefully,
just
yeah.
digital that they're talking about. I hope it's physical as well, and that they just continue um, with the
Cartridges.
or better yet, better yet, I hope that they go all digital, but they just keep that cartridge slot for people that want to make smaller games. Just keep it like that for this generation.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Because
I
the
mean it'll be
cartridge,
interesting.
because to me, eventually, I mean, they can keep doing that, but they could eventually just switch it to like a micro US, a micro SD card and make it proprietary.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I honestly think that they should do that this upcoming generation. Just make it you must have a Nintendo version of this SD card.
yeah, yeah,
And
for
just use
sure.
any SD card because everybody would always have to buy SD cards for them anyways, you know,
Hmm. Yeah,
because they didn't come with that much memory on them when you bought it. So you
yeah.
always have to
It's
buy
not a lot.
SD card anyway. So they they might as well just make you get those or have those as cartridges.
Yeah, 100%. Because there's really not much space. Like without an SD card, there's really not much space on a Switch. I think it's like 40 something gigs or something like that. It's nothing at all. But yeah, dude, that's exciting for me because I know I'm looking forward to Metroid Prime 4, and now I don't got to worry about shit if I buy Metroid Prime 4 on my Switch and I got to buy it again when I get the next one, which was the thing I was worried about, if I'm being real, because
Yeah, I could see that.
knowing Nintendo, there's no telling what they were gonna do. So I'm glad they came out and just straight up said it. Officially, I think it was like an official tweet on their account. I'm gonna double check that real quick, but I believe it was Nintendo of America that tweeted that out. Um, that the next Nintendo will be backwards compatible, so that's a good thing. Plus, also, I don't gotta buy Tears of the Kingdom again. I still need to really play that game. I I bought it and I played it for like
I'd honestly, I'd
what's up?
honestly want to wait until
Oh yeah,
the next generation hardware comes out and then finish it.
Shit, yeah. I'm not far in it at all, dude. I played it for like the week it came out and I did like nothing. I was just fucking around with the physics in the game, having fun. But yeah, it's good news. But besides that, man, I don't think that there's like we said at the beginning, it's going to be a shorter show. There's not a whole lot to talk about this week. Kind of light on the news and everything. So we have hit that 45-minute mark. I think we've talked about all the things there are really to talk about. So before we get out of here, let's do the outros, and you can get us started with that. Let them know where they can find you and everything, what you're up to, what you got going on the rest of the week.
Yeah, was supposed to have a show today, but I couldn't get a hold of Loke, and I know it's kind of a wild week.
Yeah,
So, and it's not just a wild week in America,
yeah, it's a lot of
even
places.
though he lives in Texas.
Arlington, Texas. He's right next to. He's neighbors with Hank Hill, Hank and Hank and Peggy.
No, but I know that Africa has had the is having their elections, and they are much more. Um, they have a lot
Turned.
more. They have a lot more that they have to worry about,
Yeah,
like when it comes to like electricity or fucking internet and stuff like that. So I'm not
yeah,
sure. I haven't been able to get a hold of him yet, but I'm thinking I'm assuming he's doing all right. But I'll hopefully hear back from him. But tomorrow I got a show with Italian Clowns tomorrow on
nice.
Xbox versus the Gamer Thursday little show I've been
Oh,
trying to
brand new
do.
show.
Yeah, little Thursday show that I've been trying to do. That's just a little bit more fun, laid back, and I can invite some people on too.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, yeah, just check it out. 3 o'clock Eastern tomorrow.
Link in the description to the TSWS gaming channel. Check that out. There's content like almost every day on the channel over there, so definitely check that out. As for myself, obviously you can find me here every week. I know videos this week are kind of slow. I want to work on something a little bit before I go into work tomorrow. I want to work on something. Try to have something out this weekend. Um, Probably something Dragon Age related. I don't know if I'll be able to do a review because I want to beat the game before I do that, but definitely like an impressions video, talking about that and everything. So look forward to that. Obviously, podcasts every week here on the channel. I mean, usually it's Mondays. This past 2 weeks, it was Tuesdays for the L3R3 podcast at 8 p.m. But Wednesdays at 8 p.m. is the two player podcast with myself and Hamsolo. So look forward to that. That is this show right here. And then check me out on TSWS Gaming Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern for bull setting with Ham, Low, Cozy, Mental, myself, and usually a guest somewhere in there as well. So look forward to that. We're going to get up out of here, though. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time. Peace.